I don't think I can smile while looking at this album cover.
True North Reviews, True North Reviews, True North Reviews.
Hey there, welcome to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are discussing Smile by Katy Perry. This is the 6th studio album from American pop artist Katy Perry, who in recent years has not piqued as many people's interest in pop music. A bit of a paradox, as pop music is meant to be popular, but with the exception of Chained to the Rhythm and a Calvin Harris collaboration, Katy is a fleeting presence in mainstream pop. A once charting juggernaut is now desperately clinging on to relevance, hitting her stride back in the 2010s alongside the likes of Taylor Swift and Lady Gaga, all these big female pop artists rising together around the same time, and a mere 10 to 12 years since, Katy is seemingly playing catch-up with her contemporaries. Now, while she has kept her infectiously catchy hooks a main focus, and Katy has shown time and time again that she has the powerhouse vocals to back her up whenever she wants to commit, it's become pretty apparent that her songs are not what they used to be. Granted, on a numbers and mass listening scale, it is still sad Katy has been somewhat pushed aside in the new pop landscape. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy any songs from this new Smile era. In fact, I thought Katy was onto something interesting, becoming an artist I could rally behind as she sparked a resurgence in her sound and style on the single Never Really Over. With that track being nearly a year old at this point, it still slaps with its fantastic vocal harmonies. It is fun, it is bright, it is charismatic. The follow-up with Daisies was also infectious. The guitar strumming, the emphatic singing, the lyrical content, just classic Katy Perry. However, not everything was a hit before the album dropped. The singles Harleys In Hawaii and What Makes a Woman being the biggest culprits of utter trash. With annoying hooks and a lack of soul, these tracks feel more like commercial products than they do music. I seriously don't know why Katy just didn't throw Small Talk on here. The problem could have been resolved so easily. Song selection aside, one of the main issues I took with Harleys in Hawaii was just the god-awful lyrics. If it's not the lyrics that were cringe, it's the melody. Speaking of cringe, right on cue, we got another single in the form of Smile, and honestly, while my first impression of the song was not all that positive, and granted the lyrics are still cringeworthy, the instrumental of the track has an irresistible charm to it, akin to Last Friday Night. Ever since Last Friday Night, though, I feel like Katy has had a rough go replicating that success. Maybe she's not trying to, but a couple of tracks on Smile that give me faith and optimism for Katy's future are Cry About It Later and Teary Eyes. Both tracks are well produced, the former having an unexpectedly good guitar solo. Just these nocturnal dance grooves that almost have me thinking of Selena Gomez's Rare. Lyrically too, both Cry About It Later and Teary Eyes are interesting as well. It has Katy knowing that she's going to be hungover and left with sadness the very next day. These two cuts are pleasantly surprising. Katy proves that she can write poignantly sad songs from the perspective of a happily engaged and pregnant woman. Heck, maybe even explaining this hideous and corny album cover. But sadly, like most mainstream and glossy pop albums, the frustrations, they seep in by the end, and I owe a lot of it to the plain and vanilla songwriting. The track Only Love really just embodying the frustrations I have with this record, such safe and conventional lyrical topics, painfully one-note dynamics. When this album could have actually delved into that forced nature of smiling, Katy offers her usual white girl analysis and resolution to the world. In between the bookends of this record, though, the listener is greeted with many dull and just meh songs. Resilient maybe being the worst for its terrible singing, the melodramatic setup with little to no payoff. Meanwhile, Not the End of the World has a trap instrumental on here. The interpolation of Steam's Nah Nah Hey Hey Kiss 'Em Goodbye, I thought that was kind of cool. A different spin on a classic song, just a mediocre inspiration that doesn't really connect with me beyond that though. Moving along, there's the cut Champagne Problems, which oddly doesn't have Charlie Puth credited in the songwriting. Very weird because the bass line is so thick, it's so chunky, it's sounding like it's straight out of voice notes. Now, doubling down on the disco era that this album has in places, the song Tucked is like a repeat of Champagne Problems. I honestly can't tell where one song ends and the other begins because they just sound that similar to one another. Overall, though, on Smile, if you were never a Katy Perry fan before, I can't see this winning you over either. It is as plain and by the numbers as pop music gets in 2020. With maybe an exception of a song or two, this record keeps things very inoffensive. For the most part, it's just an okay record. It may be tepid, it may be boilerplate pop music in places too. A couple good songs and the rest is just So with all that being said, I'm feeling a light 5 out of 10 on this Katy Perry record, Smile. Make sure you guys sound off down below in the comments. Tell me what you guys think of this music, whether you agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe. If you're new in town, I'd appreciate that very much. As always, thanks for watching and have a rockin' day.